All right, let's dive right into this explainer and look at a pretty massive mystery happening right in our own backyards. Everywhere around us, there are living, breathing organisms silently performing literally one of the most miraculous processes on Earth. But because it happens so quietly, we honestly just overlook it most of the time. So today, we're going to unlock the secrets of the leaf and understand exactly how plants manage to feed themselves. So we all know that animals absolutely need to eat to survive, right? A lion hunts, a cow grazes, and we head to the grocery store. We eat food to get the nutrients we need to grow, to gain weight, and to fuel our bodies. But I mean, have you ever seen a plant snacking on a sandwich? No way. Yet we watch a tiny little seed sprout into a sapling, and over time, that sapling transforms into this massive, towering tree. Clearly they're growing. So how exactly are they getting the food they need to bulk up without ever taking a single bite? Picture a curious student, much like Basker here, just looking out at his garden and wondering how his plants actually get the nutrients they need to grow larger day by day. Basker loves his garden, and he knows from his daily chores that plants definitely need water and they need to be out in the sun. But he starts asking the deeper questions. Do these elements actually help the plant make food? And if they do, how does that even work? Let's follow in the footsteps of curious minds like Basker and look at the evidence. Part 1. The first clues: sunlight and water. Okay, so a really simple experiment with 3 potted plants proves exactly what is essential here. We've got 3 identical saplings. Pot A gets direct sunlight and plenty of water. Pot B gets sunlight, but we completely starve it of water. And pot C gets all the water at once, but we hide it away in the dark. After 2 weeks, the results are crystal clear. The plant in pot A, maximum growth. The plant in pot B, without water, it unfortunately died. And pot C, starved of sunlight, showed the least growth even though it had water. It just kind of sat there. So this proves our first 2 absolute requirements. Plants must have both water and sunlight. Now this is where it gets really cool. While plants drink water from their roots down in the soil, the actual magic happens up above, in the leaves. I want you to start thinking of leaves not just as, parts of a plant, but as tiny, highly efficient food factories. By design, leaves are generally broad and flat. That structure isn't an accident. It gives them a massive surface area to capture as much of the sun's rays as possible. Literally just like solar panels on a roof. But of course, every factory needs machinery to actually do the work. And for plants, that machinery is a green pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what gives most leaves their signature green color, but its real job is way more important than just looking pretty. It's the special chemical component that actually captures the energy from sunlight efficiently so the plant can use it to power its food factory. Part 2. The detective's tool: testing for starch. Since plants don't make sandwiches, they produce and store their food as a carbohydrate called starch. To prove our leaf factory is actually working, we use the iodine starch test. First, we boil the leaf in water just to soften it up. Next, we dip it in a test tube of alcohol and heat it. Why? Well, the alcohol completely removes that green chlorophyll pigment, decolorizing the leaf. This is absolutely crucial because it makes it so much easier to see any color changes in the next step. Finally, we add a few drops of iodine solution. When iodine touches starch, boom, it instantly reacts and turns this deep blue-black color. By stripping the green out first, we can clearly see this blue-black reaction. It's the undeniable fingerprint, proving that starch is present and the factory has been hard at work. Part 3. The missing ingredient: uncovering the role of air. So, our curious student knows about water from the roots, sunlight from above, and the green machinery of chlorophyll. But there's still one invisible ingredient missing from our recipe. To figure it out, scientists designed a super clever experiment. They take a plant and trap just half of one of its leaves inside a wide-mouthed bottle. The other half just sticks out into the open air. But here's the brilliant trick. Inside the bottle, they place a chemical called caustic soda, or sodium hydroxide. Caustic soda acts like a literal sponge for gas, absorbing all the carbon dioxide right out of the air inside the bottle. So the half of the leaf stuck inside is completely deprived of carbon dioxide, while the half outside breathes normally. After leaving the plant out in the sunlight for a few hours, we run our iodine test on that exact same leaf. And the results? Fascinating. The half of the leaf that was outside the bottle, exposed to normal air, turns that deep blue-black color. It successfully made starch. But the half inside the bottle, cut off from carbon dioxide, it doesn't turn blue-black at all. It completely failed to make food. This definitively proves that the carbon dioxide in our air is absolutely essential for plants to prepare their food. Part 4, photosynthesis in a nutshell, the ultimate recipe for life. All right, bringing it all together, let's look at the complete picture of how the plant's food factory actually operates. You absolutely must have all 4 of these essential requirements to make food. It's a very precise recipe. You need sunlight as the energy source to power the whole operation. You need water, absorbed by the roots, acting as your first raw material. You need carbon dioxide from the air, acting as your second raw material. And finally, you need chlorophyll, the green machinery inside the leaf, to actually capture the light and make the reaction happen. If you take away even one of these 4 pillars, the whole factory just shuts down. This entire miraculous process has a specific name. You've probably heard it: photosynthesis. The word itself actually tells the whole story. Photo means light, and synthesis means to put together or prepare. It's this magnificent process where plants synthesize their food initially as a simple carbohydrate called glucose, which they later store as starch. And they do the whole shebang using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and chlorophyll. That is exactly how they sustain themselves, growing from tiny seeds into massive trees without ever taking a single bite of food. Which leads us to the final, elegant equation of photosynthesis. And honestly, it is a perfect exchange with the environment. The plant takes in carbon dioxide, the exact gas we exhale, and combines it with water. Then, using the power of sunlight captured by chlorophyll, it triggers a chemical reaction. The products? Glucose, which gives the plant instant energy to grow, and oxygen, which gets released right back into the air. So the plant makes food for itself and simultaneously pumps out the oxygen that you and I breathe every single day. So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If these tiny green food factories shut down tomorrow, if all the plants and organisms that carry out photosynthesis just suddenly disappeared, what would happen to the rest of the life on our planet? Without plants, there is literally no food at the base of the food chain. And without photosynthesis, there's no fresh oxygen being pumped into our atmosphere. Everything we rely on traces back to this one incredible process happening silently inside a simple leaf. Keep that in mind next time you step outside.